This is the demo tape for Tribes of Pangea. We're going to begin with a brief overview of the components before we get into the game setup and the turns and all that. So to start with, we have the game is basically made up of hexes, the map is. So here's a couple ocean hexes, and then there's three different types of land hexes. There's the dark green capital hex, where each player will start from one of those. You have these light green hexes, and then you have these like a barren terrain hexes. So in these hexes get these things called resource sites, and resource sites get placed on the hexes, and there's 7 different types of resource sites. Each one produces a different type of resource. You have different types of units as well. Very simply, there's 4 different types of units. There's population units, which have a little icon on one side and a W on the other side, and these typically get placed on top of the resource sites in the game. They show up in other places as well, but that's typically where they camp out. And then you have basically ranged units, which are some bow and arrow people. You have sword and shield guys, melee units, and you have wizards. And then you also have ships that come and live on the ocean, right? So those are the different type of units. There's also another type of resource that comes from things called nomads. Nomads are these little triangles that will be placed on the map, which you'll see how that's done in the setup. So these triangles get placed on there. And so in this game there's 10 different types of buildings, which I'm not going to go over all the different types, but these buildings look like these little white hexes with a black and white sketch on them. So this is just a little subsection of how part of the map might look. Another major key concept in the game is the tribe card. The tribe card is where you keep track of your 7 resources, and actually an 8th resource called fame, which doesn't have a resource site associated with it. So this is the tribe card. It has 8 different niches, each one corresponding to one of the different resource types. And to keep track of how many of each resource you have, you simply say this one is money. It has a little picture of some gold. So you could put one of these down. That would mean 3 gold because it has 3 lines. You could put down another one that has a single kind of horizontal line on it. That would make it 4 gold. And then you also have a denomination for 5, which looks like a 3 with a little V underneath it. So it's denominations of 1, 3, and 5. So you basically stack these in the different niches around your tribe card, which means you have different amounts of each particular type of resource. So that gives you a brief overview of the components. So now we'll move into the setup.